You get a better education in Pakistan than you do in India. India population is 7x versus Pakistan, but Pakistan has more universities in the top 1000 than India. Pakistan spends 60% more money per student on higher education than India. Indians want to tell you that they have a better education system, then prove it. In India, the government spends $474 per capita on higher education. In Pakistan, the government spends $284 per capita on higher education. The college enrollment rate in India is 25%. The college enrollment rate in Pakistan is 10%. If we take into account the different college enrollment rates, the amount of money spent per student on higher education is. In India, the government spends $1,896 per student. In Pakistan, the government spends $2,840 per student. This means that Pakistan is spending 60.24% more money per student on higher education than India. Pakistan spends 2.05% of its GDP on higher education. India spends 2.9% of its GDP on higher education. Pakistan's spending on higher education increased from 0.6% of its GDP in 2019 to 2.05% in 2022. India's spending on higher education remained relatively stable at 2.8% of its GDP in both 2019 and 2022. The increase in Pakistan's spending on higher education is likely due to the government's focus on improving access to education for all citizens. The relatively stable spending on higher education in India is likely due to the government's focus on maintaining the quality of education at existing institutions. Indians are not scholars, they are not educated intellectuals. Indians are vulgar and rude as part of Indian culture. To be ignorant and uneducated, they are not scholars, they are not creative or innovative or inventors. Indians have a long history of ignorance and recent history of immaturity. Indians have the smallest brains in the world, the lowest IQ in the world, education at the bottom of the world. What do you expect from Indians? The OECD's PISA test results for India showed that it ranked 72nd out of 73 countries in terms of educational performance. This score reflects the average scores achieved by 15-year-old students from India on 3 core subjects: mathematics, science and reading. The top performing country was China with a mean score of 612, while India scored 475, below the global average of 489. The only Indians with Nobel Prizes have British education, and 2 of the Indians credited with Nobel Prizes really come from Pakistan. India doesn't have any more Nobel Prizes per capita than Pakistan, and when you compare Pakistanis with Nobel Prizes, they have Pakistani education, but Indians with Nobel Prizes have British education or American education. Indians with Nobel Prizes have education thanks to the British or Americans. 1. Rabindranath Tagore, Nobel Prize in Literature, 1913, education, homeschooled. 2. C.V. Raman, Nobel Prize in Physics, 1930, education, Presidency College, University of Madras. 3. Hargobind Khorana, Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, 1968, education, University of Punjab, University of Liverpool. 4. Subramanian Chandra Shekhar, Nobel Prize in Physics, 1983, education, Presidency College, University of Madras. 2 of the Indians with Nobel Prizes before 1947, which is now part of Pakistan. 1. Sir Chandrasekhara Venkat Raman, Nobel Prize in Physics, 1930, education, Presidency College, University of Madras. 2. Hargobind Khorana, Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, 1968, education, University of Punjab, University of Liverpool. Indians are not intellectuals. A study conducted by IIT Hyderabad in 2019 compared brain size measurements of Indian, Caucasian and Chinese volunteers. The results showed that on average, the Indian brains were slightly smaller than those of their Caucasian or Chinese counterparts. In addition to this research effort, a separate study completed at IIT in 2009 also found that there is indeed a correlation between brain size and high IQ level among Indians. Individuals with larger brains scored significantly better on cognitive tests than their lower scoring peers with comparatively smaller brains overall. According to the QS World University Rankings for 2023, Pakistan has 12 universities ranked in the top 1000, while India has only 5 universities ranked in the top 1000. This indicates that overall, Pakistan's universities are ranked higher than India's. Additionally, the highest ranking Indian university in the QS World University Rankings 2023 is the Indian Institute of Science at rank 292, while the highest ranking Pakistani university is the National University of Sciences and Technology at rank 226. This further illustrates that Pakistan universities are ranked higher than India's. Compared to India, Pakistan's higher education system tends to have a more successful focus on technical and vocational training. According to the World Bank, the technical skills of Pakistan's graduates are among the highest in South Asia, and Pakistani students have achieved better outcomes in areas like IT, engineering, biotechnology, and pharmacy than those from India. Additionally, Pakistan's universities tend to be cheaper than those in India, which makes it easier for students from lower income families to access quality higher education.